right. Good morning. I'm State Representative Jeff Kiker. I represent the 70th District, which is parts of DeKalb, Kane, and McHenry counties. I'm joined today by my colleagues to present a package of bills concerning and to address the often overlooked topic of human trafficking in this state. It's a form of modern-day slavery that sadly occurs in almost every community. We saw a headline yesterday of 5 men arrested on sexual abuse charges in Danville, so it's certainly topical. And our state is only one state in the nation, but this impacts everybody worldwide. And I think the more that we can do here in the state of Illinois to rectify and to make it easier for victims of human trafficking, the better our state will be for all of its residents. Specifically, we want to discuss several pieces of legislation to address our state's failure to effectively curb and protect children from sexual exploitation and abuse. According to the Illinois report card on child and youth sex trafficking, as compiled by Share Hope International, which is an organization that tracks and promotes legislative action to address child sex trafficking, Illinois receives an F for our current laws to address this horrific problem. Of the 6 metrics that they use to grade a state's efforts to protect victims of exploitation and support their recovery, Illinois only receives 1 passing grade of B for prosecuting abusers. That means we have a lot of work to do, and particularly when it comes to helping victims get their lives back together after traumatic events occur. Of course, the best option is to prevent the victimization in the first place. I want to be clear that I am not myself an expert on this topic, but through a family situation, my motivation to enact this is driven by an abuse situation that one of my cousins suffered and struggled with for her entire life. So it's been a personal mission of mine since I've been down here to make life easier for those that have been victims of abuse, survivors of abuse, and help those that are currently being abused or trafficked get out of that situation. Because we lack, as a state, so many of the necessary tools to help victims recover, she became a statistic. Someone whose abuse and lack of support for resources put her down a path of drug use that caused her death at a far, far too young of an age. And sadly, as I think we all know, my family isn't the only one with a story like this. So our work here today is to try to do better for the people of the state of Illinois. As a part of the package we're proposing today, I'm proud to carry House Bill 5465, which is a continuation of the bill that we passed unanimously through both houses last spring. And what that legislation does is this legislation specifically creates an easier process for child victims of human trafficking to have their juvenile records expunged or sealed of criminal acts that they were forced to commit while they were a victim of trafficking, so they can get their life back together. They can apply for jobs, they can go to school, they can get a place to live, they can survive a background check, and hopefully get back into a normalized state following their horrific situation. One of the first steps in helping someone heal after an immense trauma like sexual abuse is ensuring that their past doesn't follow them around and keep them from being someone new once they're survived. I believe this legislation is an important component in helping victims heal, and I appreciate the attention that we are able to give to this today with my peers. I will now turn it over to Representative Jennifer Santalitro to discuss additional legislation that she is proposing.
Thank you, Rep. Kiker. Excuse me. Hello all, and thank you for your attention on this issue, one that is arguably the most significant attack on human rights happening in our world today. I'm State Representative Jennifer Santalitro, and I represent the 48th District that makes up DuPage County and parts of Cook County. Human trafficking might seem like a faraway problem that won't impact you, your family, or your community, but that's far from the truth. It happens every day and in every corner of our country, and it sickens me when we still are not at a point where it has been eradicated completely. The bills I will be highlighting for you all today mark a significant step forward in the fight against human trafficking as they provide much needed support and legal protection for trafficking victims. HB 5469 creates the Human Trafficking Order of Protection, which enables victims of human trafficking to obtain orders of protection against their traffickers. The bill recognizes the unique challenges faced by trafficking victims and offers a legal mechanism to shield them from further harm. Separately, we have HB 5468. It provides a legal recourse for victims of human trafficking who have been compelled to commit criminal offenses while being trafficked. This bill creates an affirmative defense for such victims and acknowledges the complex circumstances of their situations. Ultimately, it's aiming to ensure the legal system offers them protection and an avenue to justice. I will now pass this along to Representative Stevens, who will discuss some proposals that hold traffickers to account for the destructive crimes.
Thank you, Jen. Representative Brad Stevens, 20th District, northwest side of Chicago, and the suburbs surrounding O'Hare. I'm honored to be able to participate in this press conference today. I filed House Bill 5470 to provide our law enforcement more clarity in holding human trafficking predators accountable. My bill adds the word patronize to the law on involuntary sexual servitude of a minor. This will ensure the buyers are held accountable as sex trafficking offenders. This is an important step to provide more tools to work towards eliminating this abhorrent criminal cycle. My colleagues and I are here to recognize that we must do more to protect vulnerable minors and individuals from the evils of human trafficking. Our statutes need to be strengthened, and we are here today to do just that. I will continue to collaborate on this important topic with my colleagues in the General Assembly, advocacy groups, and our law enforcement officials. We must work together to develop a plan to bring an end to human trafficking in Illinois. The victims in the state of Illinois deserve better, and we must strengthen our laws. Adding these vital protections will help bring Illinois in line with the strongest protections for victims and provide vital tools to go after the evil criminals participating and organizing this racket. I now want to turn it over to my colleague, Nicole Laha.
Thank you. My name is Nicole Laha, and I have the honor of representing our 82nd District, which consists of DuPage, Will, and Cook counties. Illinois' recent report card on the child and youth sex trafficking paints a stark picture. While we've made strides in certain areas, we're failing in crucial aspects, particularly in victim protections. The failing grade Illinois received highlights the urgency of this situation. We cannot continue to overlook the needs of trafficking victims, and I've introduced 3 bills to help combat these issues. HB 5466 amends the offense of patronizing a minor engaged in prostitution by removing the affirmative defense that the perpetrator believed the minor was over 18. This change is crucial in holding perpetrators accountable and protecting vulnerable minors. HB 5467 removes the statute of limitations for prosecuting trafficking offenses involving minors. It allows prosecutors for involuntary servitude, involuntary sexual servitude of a minor, or trafficking in persons to be brought at any time if the victim was under 18 at the time of the offense. This bill seeks to ensure that justice knows no time limit for these heinous crimes. HB 5134 adds the offenses of trafficking in persons, involuntary servitude, and involuntary sexual servitude of a minor to the Sex Offender Registration Act, requiring those convicted to register as sex offenders. I believe these are vital steps in our ongoing battle against human trafficking, but they are only part of the solution. We must also understand the factors contributing to the prevalence of trafficking in Illinois. Factors such as our state's strategic location, economic disparities, and diverse populations make it a target for traffickers. Poverty, lack of legal protections, and fear of deportation make individuals more susceptible to exploitation. Traffickers prey on the most vulnerable among us, including immigrants, children, and those facing poverty or homelessness. However, we're not alone in alleys in this fight. Illinois is home to various anti-trafficking coalitions and task force who work tirelessly to identify victims, provide support services, and raise awareness. To further aid in this effort, it's crucial that every member of our community knows how to report suspected cases of trafficking. The National Human Trafficking Hotline and the Illinois State Police are valuable resources available 24/7. Additionally, we can all play a role in reducing human trafficking by raising awareness, by educating ourselves and others, and reporting suspicious activity. We can help combat this exploitive crime. Addressing human trafficking requires legislative action, community engagement, and individual responsibility. Together, we can create a safer, more just Illinois for all of its residents. Thank you.